Good morning, everyone. It's Trader Rob. Today is Wednesday, April 29th. Hope everybody's having a fantastic start to your morning and your trading week. Trading week has been profitable this week. Let's kind of go over some of the charts here. Nice setup last night. Started off, at pretty much right at the market close. But around, what was this, around 7, 8 o'clock, really nice leg up here, and you would have got a very, very nice risk to reward here trade that would have absolutely just been a beauty right there. This one never triggers here. Actually, it did. I'm sorry. This one hit point of control and came back down. So let's see price action here this morning and see. Looks like we are making a move towards our unbalanced volume down here. Let's just make sure I got this one on the chart. All right, let's see what this first setup here looks like of the morning. Okay. This looks pretty decent here. Let's see if we can get triggered in this one or not. All right, so some things to look out for here this morning. Key levels up here at the 27,512. The 423, we do have a seller unbalanced volume area sitting right here at the 27,440s to the 404s. We did just cross another key area here at the 27,168. We have buyer unbalanced volume sitting here at the 27,099 to the 27,046. Another key level at the 27,009. And everything's sitting below here. We've already been kind of talking about for a few days. That's the NQ. As far as the ES is concerned, ES has got a key level here at the 7171, another one at the 7146, key level at the 7204 and the 7223. Seller unbalanced volume, which we've been seeing a little bit more of lately, so that's it's kind of a good thing to see. So we can actually take some shorting opportunities. All right, I will cancel out that order in the NQ as we just broke structure to the downside. I'll show you guys that one in a second. And one thing I am looking out for is this. As we've got a key area down here at the 7146, and we are in this buyer unbalanced volume area. We did try dipping into here around 7:30 this morning on the U.S. durable good news, and as you can see, it did repel it right back to the key level. So what I'm looking for here is possibly a sweep of this liquidity that's sitting down here. That could be in play. As far as gold, gold's been pretty quiet for me. We do have a band here at the 45.26 to the 45.09, which is the closest thing to price action currently. I was not able to find anything overnight on the overnight session on gold. They just did a pretty good job of balancing everything out. Now getting back onto the NQ, as far as this setup is concerned, so we had 1, 2, 3, 4 down 120 range bars, so that starts our setup already. Past here, we are already a valid setup. Now we're just waiting for that one retracement leg that we did get right here. So we bring out our fixed volume profile tool to incorporate just this leg right here, and we can see that this is not an entry here at the value area low. We closed above it. So my entry would have been at the point of control sitting here at the 27,210. You could take a second entry at the value area high at the 27,226 with your stop loss sitting at the break of structure to the upside. If we get hit here, we knew that our calculation was wrong and from there we can start looking for long opportunities. But as price action came right back down and broke the structure down below, now we'll just look for the next setup available to us. And the ES doesn't look like they've got any impulsive moves. So we'll stay on the NQ here. Again, NQ is coming into this unbalanced volume area at the 27.099 to the 27.046. Is it advisable for your trading method to follow the market throughout the entire US session? Yeah, I mean, it's all volume based. So, you know, I try to post as many of the setups as that I see on my Discord and in my Signal group. But yeah, I mean, I missed that trade last night, but the previous evening I took a long on a setup for, I think it was close to like 40 points, and it was in the evening. That was around 8 or 9 o'clock at night. We do got FOMC here this morning at 1 p.m. We got oil inventory report at 9:30 in the morning. We did have U.S. durable goods that came out this morning at 7:30. Paul, good morning. Ed, good morning. Aldair, good morning. Nordic, Keith, Joe, Rob, Greg, William, Keith, Joe, Steve, Max, Mo, good morning all. Had a really nice trading session yesterday. Banked about 2,900 in profit, a little bit. It was close to 3,000. Which was nice because I've been, you know, I think Monday and Tuesday were both like, I think I took a $600 loser, and nice thing is that my losses have been small, and then some of my winning days have been pretty good in April. Let's see where I'm sitting at. Yeah, so about 7,700 for the month. Maybe a little bit more than that. But still way shy from our 15K goal. Yeah, this is pretty tight consolidation, move to the upside. Now, one thing that I, when I give you guys these bands in the morning, and I tell you guys, you know, that this is, you know, this is a buyer unbalanced volume, or sometimes it'll be a seller unbalanced volume area. In those scenarios where I'm in a buyer unbalanced volume area, you know, at that point, my bias is going to be try to look for as many long opportunities as I possibly can inside of that area. Doesn't mean I won't take a short, but we've got to be in this band for a good amount of time. You know, on that first down move in these bands, you don't really want to be taking a short, because this is all buyer. This is all buyer volume. But like even this little tight one here is a little too tight for me, but you know, I mean, you're looking at entry at the point of control right there at the 55. You know, I guess, yeah, 3 points, 4 points. It's not bad, with very little risk. Less than 2.5 points of risk here. So Joe asks, what's a good news feed? I use Financial Juice. I know that Forex Factory is another popular one. As far as their high impact news events, those results come in very quickly. It's the headlines that have a delay. I think that there's a delay in most of the news services unless you pay for real-time feeds, which, you know, I'm sure they've probably made their fair share of really nice profits over these last couple of months, as everything really has been very headline based in the markets. So I'm sure that they signed up a shit ton of people on that, and it's not cheap. I mean, the Financial Juice is, in my opinion, I think is an absolute rip at what they charge for real time. Let me see what that is here. Go Elite. It's about $70. 3 months for the price of one. I guess not that bad. I mean, it's $70 for 3 months. I guess it's not that bad. Why do I feel like? Well, I guess it says it's 67% off. I thought it was a lot more than that. Last time I checked, I thought it was closer to like almost $100 a month. Yeah, and there's some other services like Squawk that you can do. Though again, they're pretty expensive. First tap here of our band. Again, for me to take a long here in gold, I'd want to see a green footprint with negative delta, which currently we're not getting. And Q's kind of in some chop here, so nothing for us to do here. No setup here. Morning, AP. Morning, Grant. So I got MS. How do you get range candles on TradingView? So TradingView does have, let me see if I can pull it up here. I think I have a test. Yeah, I do. So this has got footprints on here, but that shouldn't matter. Let me attach, I can probably attach my trade station on here just to get some real-time data. Six-digit code. So this is TradingView. This is just a regular footprint candle, but let me change this to candles just so we're on the same page. So TradingView, unfortunately, their range, you've got to be. They have ranges down here, okay? But this, don't pay attention to this, unfortunately. Their default ranges for like the free or the basic plan is very limited. I think there's only 3 or 4 different ranges that you can pick from. It's not until you get to the top or tiers where you can customize the range. So I've got like my 120 range, which would be right here. And as you can see, the candles look extremely ugly. So there is kind of a workaround around that. I don't know why these lines were showing up like that, but anyways, the workaround to getting around that is if you go into indicators and you just type in range bars. Range bars. Let's see. No, that's not it. Sorry. Oh, range candles. Sorry. Range candles here. So I will switch it into a regular candle, but still be on the range. I don't know what the hell this is down here. I could delete that. You see? So TradingView is not the greatest for range, and again, it's you need that higher subscription, because I believe they got like a 1, a 10, maybe 100 and 1,000 range. I think that's the only options as a default. I could be wrong on that, but I've added the 60, the 120 to here to get this. I personally don't use TradingView to trade on the range bars, but that's the only workaround that I have personally seen. Let's take a look at the NQ. Still pretty choppy. No, I wouldn't be shorting gold right now, personally. We just bouncing off of a buyer. In fact, I was looking for longs here. I just didn't get any. I didn't get any signal here on the 60. If I would have got a flip here or here, I would have been long right now in gold. I know the trend is obviously way to the downside, but we're in a, this is a buyer unbalanced volume area here. Again, that's just personally what I would do. I mean, depending on what your strategies are.
Don't close your eyes. Wait until the night is over. I'll show you paradise, but hang on just a little longer. I will be yours, you will be mine. Let it unfold, your legs intertwine. So don't close your eyes just yet.
It's a nice little flip right there at the back, at the point of control of that previous leg down. Sean, that is correct. AP, that is correct. And, you know, the only thing that I should have this indicator. I forgot to put this indicator because I usually have these labeled and then they go on every single screen. We'll see. I'm just trying out this indicator right now. I'm not really super happy with the initial balance. As you guys can see, kind of just think I can make this go longer. I think I can. I don't know. I'm not super thrilled with it yet, just of yet. Parth I have, but I think it's a little bit better just to incorporate the strategy the way it is. But yeah, I've looked at it from every which angle on the 15, the 60 minute. I think it's just better to get the regular context from the regular strategy at the open. Yeah, nothing to do here. This is still pretty choppy price action. So gold rejected that band pretty well. Let's see what this ES. All right, I'm gonna take a little buy here, and let's put our stop here, which is not the greatest. Let's see if we can. Oh shoot! I didn't mean to do that. I pressed the S button again. Ah, crappers! I wanted to take another entry here at the value area low. So now I'm into some pretty big position here. Not at the best pricing. I mean, I guess that would have been a 1 point difference, but that would have averaged me out to a better risk to reward. So not too happy with that entry. Put these two together. And yeah, they're at the break of structure there. So we'll see if we can get a... So again, pretty simple. We are in, again, buyer unbalanced volume. So again, my bias here would be longs. We did get 1, 2, 3. There's our retracement bar, fixed volume profile tool right here. First entry would have been at the point of control. My second entry should have been at the 71.59, which I would have been right here, which would have averaged my position somewhere around here. Again, much better risk to reward. So right now, this is... on accident, I pressed the ask button instead of the buy click, which is the buy click is the one where I can actually put the entry over here. So we'll just see if we get a quick break of structure here or not. So the range bar is right here. They're all got watermarks here. So this is the 12 range. So whatever chart I switch over to, you know, they're all labeled on there, so you know exactly which range I'm looking at. Again, my position should have been somewhere down here for these two contracts. That was my fault on that one. Our unbalanced volume right here. This is our protection right now. And again, if we do break down below, then we'll have to look for our next leg here. The NQ still seems pretty choppy. But risk to reward on this play is not good at all. But again, that was more my mistake than anything else. And Q looks pretty heavy to the downside right here. Yeah, and Q still kind of melting to the downside, so this doesn't look too bueno. Come on. Let's go, buyers. Step in here. Let's go. I do have a little bit of resistance here right above my entry right here. So they got to absorb here, hopefully. And if they can absorb here, all of the liquidity sitting right at the 74s, which I know is going to be a target for them. That's a really short-term liquidity target. But they got to get to that 61, which is right around my entry. It'd be nice if the NQ can show some momentum here, which it's not. And again, if this flips green, so if this was to close as a green footprint candle, hopefully it does, I can move my stop right up to the 57s. But it just seems really heavy right now. And the only reason why I say that is if you take a look at delta, we're in such negative delta here. So if we were to close here as a green candle, that would be a flip in my eyes, which is a good confirmation continuation play to the upside. And I could reduce some risk there, which I will do to the right there. All right, so reduced to about 4 points of risk now. Made the risk to reward just a little bit better, but again, tighter stop. All right, get through the 61s. 64, 65's got a good amount of liquidity. That was just the 61 pop. That's not a big deal. Let's see if we can now go right through here and absorb. We've got a clean path. Let's go. Okay, the NQ is pretty stagnant. Still actually kind of heavy on the NQ, so we'll see. Excuse me. And again, it's kind of a bad example here of how to take this trade. My first entry should have been at the point of control at the 7160. The second entry should have been at the value area low. I took both of my positions above even the point of control, which is terrible positioning on my part. Okay, they're absorbing there. Well, looks like they are still defending these 61s pretty strongly here on Bookmap. This is up here is where my target is currently sitting at. Actually, I'm sitting right here. Good amount of liquidity sitting at the 64s. Let's see if they can absorb right here or not. All right, we gotta see some big absorption here. Let's go. Come on, buyers. Step in, buddy. Let's go. Grab some of that early morning liquidity. Let's go. Again, if we can just pop this now, the 62, if we can pop the 62, we've got TP definitely in sight here. Buyers just resting here a little bit. Let's go. Coming right back at it. I don't know why the ES trades make me a little bit more, give me a little more stress than the NQ for some reason. I don't know. Even though the NQ is still pretty damn heavy. We're not really seeing much on the NQ here. All right, so that was an absorption pop to the 62s. Come on, let's go. Still got to get through these 62s. About 100 contracts sitting right there. Came about a tick away from my entry there, for my TP, I should say. I'm telling you, the ES just makes you stress over ticks. Looks like the buyers are kind of running out of steam here. This might retrace a little bit here. All right, well, I closed out all my funded, so the leader still hasn't closed out, but there you go. Fuck, man. 2 point, almost 3 points. All that was a lot. That was very stressful. All right, so that was not a good example of how to trade the AVT on the ES. So I made some mistakes there that will go down in my journal. First, you know, and I kind of explained it while I was in this trade. But on the retracement, on this initial push to the downside right here, so we were hovering, we already dipped past it, so I was a little late on this point of control entry. So I got in right here. And what I was meaning to do was to add another contract here at the 71.59. But instead of hitting my buy click, which allows me to then, it's like a chart trader, to put it on the 71.59, I clicked on the ass button. So I got into another position here, which didn't help me at all, because this trade would have been a lot nicer. You know, I probably would have had another point on 2 contracts with this, which would have helped my P&L. But a win's a win. And the NQ seems still very, very sloppy. Yeah, green is green, I agree, but you just try to make, I guess in the heat of the battle, mistakes will happen, but try to limit those as much as possible. All right, so I already gave myself some pretty negative critique there in my journal. I'm going to go get a fresh cup of coffee, and I will be right back. Let me just take a peek at gold here. Okay. All right, I'm back, guys and girls. Yes, as I was upstairs making my second cup, I don't know what it is, but the ES, you know, it's smaller point size and everything, but the trades seem to stress me out just a little bit more than, well, actually a lot more than the NQ. I don't know why. Even though the NQ, I could be risking 60 points. And I know there's obviously a big point difference, but it just doesn't, they seem to resolute much quicker. But strategy does work pretty well on ES. Let's see if we can, well, we already kind of broke here. Let's see what this looks like. Alright. And I'll take this on group 3. Let's see if we can get an entry here. Again, I'm only really looking for longs up here, so might as well take the setups when they appear. What kind of risk profile are we looking at here? 3 points to make 5. I like that. I like those odds. I already locked in those profits on group 2, so can't take a losing, can't take away any of my profits on that group, which again I think is the beauty of staggering your groups of funded accounts. Nothing on the NQ, which obviously is a really good indication of, you know, just kind of price, choppy price action. Let's go to the ES here. Let's put this up here. There we go. You could even have a nice target here at the yesterday's close. It's done. About 9 more minutes for initial balance to be set. Again, I'm sure you guys are all aware, but I just like to kind of re-emphasize all my points, just for any new viewers or just to make sure that you guys get this set up concrete. So again, just a continuation leg. This is actually our take profit leg right here. Our take profit from our previous trade here. So, you know, you put your fixed volume profile tool again, 1, 2, 3. You got your down bar right here. Again, we are in a buyer unbalanced volume area, so this is definitely a bias on longs here off the bat. And once you put your fixed volume profile tool, it'll tell you where your entries and where your TPs, stop losses are all going to be built in. So here you've got the only play, so this would only be a one position type of play, would be at the value area low at the 71.6150, which is where I have my entry, where I have my order. Stop loss would be at the 71.58.50, and then your TP could be at the, you've got a few targets here. If you want to go 1-to-1, you could just come right back to the point of control. If you want a little bit better risk to reward, you can be at the value area high or at the break of structure. These are all like 2 tick differences, so don't be greedy. Already is a positive risk to reward. And the only way I'll cancel this order out right now is if we do break this structure right here. Break that structure right there, I'll cancel this out, and then I'll look for the next leg. And they do have a good amount of liquidity sitting at the 69s, so this is a target for them right here. All right, so then right here I can cancel this guy out. And we'll look for the next leg, and we'll see if the NQ gives us anything here. It is a slow morning. So Mark, on my on your question, how many contracts are you trading? So on the, I am trading this on the ES. So for instance, right here, this is on the ES chart. So my leader account, which is a sim group, or a sim leader, thanks to my wonderful chat that gave me that recommendation. So I that would be one. I was in 2 E-minis on my leader, but all of my funded accounts were all trading micros. So on the ES, my starter position is 2 micros. So in this particular trade, I was in for 4 micros throughout all of my fundeds, which in that group equated to control center accounts. So we had 1 cash account, 2 Tradeifys, 2 Lucids, and 6 Apex. So that's 6, 10, 11 accounts. I'm sorry, 9 accounts. 9 accounts. 9 accounts made up that that P&L. All right, so it looks like we might get our first look here at an NQ setup. Let me just go here real quick, just to make sure that all of these are set correctly. Change this to group 3. Group 3, good. I haven't really taken a trade on the 30 range in quite some time. I think I have I still think I still have battle wounds from that 30 range trade that I took. So remember the 69 numbers where that liquidity was sitting, which I said there could be a target for them. And we never did get an entry here, which is okay. It's no big deal. Yeah, Max, it does move slower. It's just for some reason on the ES, it just seems like obviously I know the tick value and the point value is much different. It's about a little less than a quarter of, well, it's probably about a quarter of the NQ. But it just seems like when you've got your TP set, you know, like it's just constantly to that tick, and then, you know, fills are a little bit funkier, I think, on that. Well, even though the AS has got a lot more liquidity, which it shouldn't, but it just seems like that last tick, man, always seems to be, I don't know, at least every ES trade that I feel like I'm ever in, but like, I was gonna say I thought this was the ES chart, but it's not. That's the NQ. Like, this is great little price action right here. This would have been great to, you know, get our entry right here and just have no, you know, straight shot up, no retracements. What we were in was this. I mean, that was and I'm pretty sure most of you understand. So I had initial risk was 6, maybe 6.25. So terrible risk to reward. And again, that was partly my fault with my, not partly, it was my fault with my entry. My entry should have been sitting somewhere right around here, which would have been still negative risk to reward, but it was really close to 1-to-1 at least. But as we did get the flip right here, so we had negative delta, green footprint, that gave me at least confidence to move my stop to right here, which then at that point didn't make the trade look as bad. Would have been much nicer with my positioning right here. Then I probably would have been in a positive risk to reward. But again, you try to be perfect, and it's hard to be perfect in trading. You're going to have some mistakes. You're just trying to limit them as much as humanly possible. It looks like we might get a setup here now on the NQ. So we've at least satisfied our first rule, which is 1, 2, 3 in one direction. Okay. So now what we're waiting for is we're just waiting for our retracement bar to show up, and then we can pop our fixed volume profile tool just to incorporate this little leg, and then we'll see what our entries look like. Looks like the ES might give us another. Let's just see what this would look like right now. Okay. It's gonna be a pretty small trade if we do get a order here. Pop that guy to the 75s. That's good. And then just again, another little break of structure here. Risking 2 3/4 to make 4. Again, if it breaks structure here, if it breaks structure here, then I will I'll look to cancel out this order, and then we'll keep an eye here on the NQ. NQ might give us a setup here. Oh, so we are at initial balance. Maybe we already tapped into initial balance. We did. Well, no, I don't think we did. We did not. Initial balance is sitting right here, which I don't have a fucking label for. Stupid thing. Oh, okay. So my initial balance is sitting at the 27,277. Initial balance high. And trade on the ES still hasn't been triggered yet. Here's our tap. We can cancel out the ES. ES broke structure to the top side. I'll answer your question, Joe, in a second. Let's see what the market wants to do here. I'll show you guys the 60 range as well. A lot of volume sitting right there. 200 contracts for the 30 range is a ton. think this is right. I don't think my IB is right here. $277. $277. Yeah, I guess why does... What do you guys have as your initial balance here today? I have it at 277, but my other indicator here that I've always been using is showing it at the 265. That's what happens when you pop a new indicator on here. This does look right. 277. Why is this one showing the 265? I don't know. 277. Okay. So then don't pay attention to this. Don't pay attention to the 60 range here. I don't know. That's kind of strange. It's never done that before. Based on my rules, I would have taken this trade right here short, which I was hovering over the button. I was just looking at the my 60 range, which I've got here, and I was seeing price action up here while we were on the IB right here. So I was a little bit confused there. I'm not sure why this is set at the 265 number, and my IB over here is set at the 277, which I know is correct, the 277. So that was kind of the reason there, and it kind of saved me probably 10 points there, 8 points. All right, so we had a good question here. Let's see who asked that. I remember seeing it. Oh, so Joe asked, what's the reason you include the first retracement candle in the fixed volume profile placement as opposed to just the 3 same color candles? All right, so because what we're looking for is we're obviously looking for a mini pivot to be established, and the only way you're going to get a mini pivot established is to get a final retracement bar. That's the sequence. And if you don't have any condition of a down bar, then more than likely you're just going to keep putting these fixed volume profile tools, and eventually you're not going to get, you're going to be just trailing price, pretty drastically. And that's definitely in a situation like this. Now, what you're going to see is that this final retracement candle is extremely important because it's going to incorporate a lot of volume, and it's going to incorporate a lot of seller volume in the case of a retracement leg to the upside. And that's going to have a big impact. So sometimes you'll see me cheat a little bit. Like when we start getting a down retracement bar like this, I'll cheat and include it as of right now, just to kind of see what my trade would look like. But I always cancel this out and I wait for this bar to finally close, because what's happening here is there's a lot of business being transacted. Typically, you're in a big uptrend. Sellers have to step in to stop the bleeding at a certain point, or at least try. Doesn't mean that they're going to succeed, but they're going to at least try. And that fight that happens on the 4th candle, on the 5th candle, on the 6th candle will influence your point of control. It'll influence your value area high, your low. So that's the main reason. But the biggest reason is to establish a pivot. That's our target for most cases. depending on, you know, what the volume profile looks like. And, you know, we're already starting to get to the max size move to the upside, because we got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, my sweet spot is that 3 to 5. That's what I like to stay in with. Those are going to be your A setups. You know, when you start getting 6, that starts to automatically go down to a B. Much more than 6, I would probably not be, I wouldn't be looking at. Unless, and I say this all the time, if you get an overextended move and you get a setup that affords you a very nice risk to reward, then yeah, sure. I mean, I'll be willing to risk 15, 16 points to make a 60-point move. And you've seen me do that several times on the AVT strategy, you know, where we get a fantastic risk to reward, where you say, Rob, there's no way that the market's going to pivot on 16 points or 15 points or 10 points of stop, and it will. And again, I'm willing to take a 10-point, 15-point, 20-point risk all day long with a point of control target of 50 points or 40 points or 60 points. Sorry, I can take that range guy off. So I think I might need to go back to the drawing board on my initial balance indicator. It works, but it's I'm not super in love with it yet. Michael, let's see. Let's take a look now and see, now that we've completed our leg here. All right, so you've got point of control sitting right here. That's terrible risk to reward, so that's not something that, you know, yeah, you can take a scalp here, but there's no way that I'm going to be putting a stop down here. That just doesn't make any sense, and I would want this as an entry down here. So this right here is a very ugly risk to reward play. Could obviously work, but where's your risk going to be at? You know, so that's the beauty of the strategy, is that everything really makes very logical sense for you guys. You know, that would be your first entry. Okay. Your second entry, and what I would consider to be the best entry, would be at the value area low right here. Okay. Because now what our risk profile looks like is much, much better. Much, much better. And like, here's another example of, again, this is kind of like this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So we've got another leg here on the ES, right? Where's your point of control sitting at? I mean, we're talking about like a point of stop right here. So am I willing to risk a point? Why not? The fuck's the point? So we can get a healthy Healthy pullback here, and your only target is going to be value area high. So we're not even asking for it to break structure up here. Now, am I going to get stopped? Oops. Am I going to get stopped out on this trade? Possibly. But why not take that risk? Take 1 point of risk there. Actually, 5 ticks. So we'll leave that one. We'll leave that one on the cooker. Nothing for us to do on the NQ. And the only thing that'll cancel this trade out is if we break structure right up here. It's exactly what I was just talking to you guys about. I mean, you know, everything will make sense to you. You know, here we missed our entry, probably by, I don't know, maybe 2 ticks. This is about 2 tick difference right here. So we missed that entry. But again, that would have been nice risk to reward. Right here's your risk, and here is your reward. And you're incorporating all the best price action theories. Continuation of trend. Follow the trend. Trend is your friend. All that fucking bullshit that we always keep hearing about. Buy at a better price. Buy low, sell high. You know, it's all of the theories that you have with the big, a nice addition of the volume that's inside of the particular leg that we're looking at. And the reason why I love it so much is that for the last 2 years, I've only been trading unbalanced volume. Okay, so like in my scenarios, my unbalanced volumes is sitting right here. It's typically where my entries are at. So the system plays, in fact, it gets me into more trades with a good edge. And that's what I really enjoy about the strategy. Let the market do what the market wants to do. Are you going to be wrong sometimes? Of course. You know, it's impossible to be right all the time, and there's going to be scenarios. Like I've explained, the worst market environment that you're going to see on the AVT strategy is a setup like this. And sorry, this is going to disappear. And I know for you guys that have been watching this for a long time, I know it sounds redundant, but it's better to master it. Okay, so this is one market structure that is terrible. This is terrible for almost any strategy in the market, okay? Because, and why I say that, you know, if we take an entry here at the value area low, for instance, okay, we know that our stop's going to be at the break of structure down here below. We know that our TP is going to be sitting right up here, okay, or somewhere in this ballpark. What happens? Market sweeps your stop loss. It then goes into the direction that you were anticipating it to go. And then you can think, okay, we got a new leg to the downside. Let's take the value area high. And our stop's going to be sitting right here, just to take your stop out and then go in the direction that you want. This is a very, very difficult market condition that you see, not as common, okay? But this you will see, and these are going to be your losing trades. Now, or maybe you're losing days, because it can be in that type of environment. Now, what we see mostly, 2 out of 5 days out of the week, we see this. Okay, this is going to be your typical market trend. Okay, again, 2 out of the 5 days out of the week. These are perfect because we can catch these moves. Are we going to catch them all? No, we see that some of them come a point or two from entry and then go without us. Sorry, that's just going to happen. And 3 out of the 5 days, what we see is this. Okay, which is much different than this first example that I gave you. In this example, there is going to be a losing trade, but there's going to be 2 or 3 winning trades. And that's what overall throughout the long scope of it, you'll see that the edge is going to always be there because you're incorporating so many good market theories that you know, it's not fair value gaps. It's not, you know, liquidity sweeps. There's a shit ton of things that we can trade, and they all work. Trust me, you can make any strategy work. I promise you that. But if you've got a strategy that is, if you've got a strategy that there really is not much that you need to think about, I think it frees your mind to have a little bit more confidence in the setup, and to sorry, let me just delete this. So we came pretty damn close to our entry right there. That was about a point off. So again, risking a point here to make 6 points. Do I have a likelihood of getting stopped out here? Yes. 1 point on the ES is not a lot, but it's enough. It's enough. That's all we need sometimes. All you need sometimes is a tick. But I will take this risk to reward every day. And then the nice thing is that everything will make logical sense to you. You know, like, am I going to take a trade at the point of control here? Probably not. Now, if I wanted to, I could take one position here, a starter position here, and another position right here. Now you average out to right around here, okay? And now you're at maybe a slightly less risk to reward, okay? This is not going to be a true one-to-one yet. But if you wait for the value area low, then for sure you are in a very positive risk to reward scenario. And the ES almost took our entry once again. And we're not looking for a short here just yet, because we never broke structure up here, okay? That's why we cancel out, whenever we break structure up here without our entries getting triggered, that's why we cancel out our orders. Because then we're looking for the next leg. It could be the next leg up, it could be the next leg to the downside. It's what gives you a reset to the strategy. Let's see if we can get our entry here triggered. Again, we came about 2 ticks from entry there. There's some liquidity sitting right at our entry, so that's this is a good sign right here at the 67s. There's some decent liquidity, so they might want to tap into that. The only thing that we have to worry about is the 62s, which is way beyond my stop loss, so can't really think about that too much at this point. I'm just hoping that we can get an actual entry here. Man, these spammers are just killing my Discord, man. I don't understand why I'm paying all of these different bots to control my spam. It's really fucking annoying. And I know someone's gonna be dumb enough to click on something eventually. Like BMB Trader on my Discord posted at 8:57, which obviously to me looks like pure spam. But I could swear BMB Trader was never, I mean, he's been with me for a long time, and he's on a few multiple servers with me. But buddy, you're getting banned. I don't think this is... Why does that name sound so familiar? BMB Trader. Who is that? Let me go into my chat, my DMs. This is what infuriates me. Oh, he is here. That's AP. AP, are you... AP. AP's on here all the time. Why is he... What is this here? It's a professional grade tool for ensure that automates the most crucial time to list the session. Algo ready. Oh, he's not selling this. Okay. I take it back. Take it back, buddy. But you were very close to me hitting the ban button. I'm sorry, I have no tolerance right now for the spamming on Discord. It's like every day. I went like 7 months without really anything, and I thought it was the bots that I've been paying for to clean it up, but for the last 3 weeks, it's been every single day. So I take it back, buddy. Sorry. You're just trying to help. I was just frustrated. Do. Alternate strategies. What's going on here? Okay. Yeah, sorry, AP. I knew the BMB sounded familiar, but I'm like, what the hell? Program note, tomorrow we do have Cash Profit Thursday. So we'll be giving away 5% of any session profits from trading yesterday for tomorrow. Make sure to log in, get the keyword pipe, put the keyword in. Give out some decent money in April. I know people have been very excited to receive that that Zelle or Venmo or PayPal. I had a lot of PayPals. I didn't really know people use PayPal to send money to each other, but apparently it's pretty popular. All right, so we did not get a fill there, even though it came right to our tick right here. This is what I see with the ES. It's like it's so tick based. Let's see what this entry. So the low on this candle. Okay, I was off by a tick. So this is kind of what I'm talking about with the ES. Like what the fuck? Just give me one more tick. I don't see this as much on the NQ. Sean, my entry's at the 6167 flat. Even, I should say. Oh. 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 Come on. That was to the tick 3 times. 3 times. I still gonna trade ES, dude. It's moving. Yeah, it's a little it's a little wackadoodle. I'd say it was a pretty nice rejection off that band. Gave you signal members had it all this morning. It's a nice little rejection there. I forgot who we were talking about. I think it was Tiger. Oh, we got into a trade. We got into the ES trade. Let's see. Oh, that was pretty close. That was a big pump down. Let's see. And we stopped out. All right. So again, that point a quarter. That didn't work out too well, but. Again, I'll take this trade every single time. The NQ is not really moving much. Well, looks like we could revisit the IB here. Like, this looks pretty, but when you put it on the range charts, it does not look as pretty. Label's not there. Label's way off somewhere off in the universe over here somewhere. All right, so let's update that. One winner, one loser today. Now remember, I did switch my groups. So my group 2 today is full in profit. Now group 3 is they've got about $14 losses on each funded. So now my cash account does take a hit there because the cash account's trading on all groups, so cash isn't sitting as pretty as it was before. But still in the green. Do. I'm just taking a look at a retest here of the IB, even though we came pretty damn close once here again. We'll see what, it looks like the market is pretty stagnant up here. Any bigger targets to the upside? Yeah, they've got unbalanced volume sitting up here. Seems very hesitant to touch the IB. Okay, finally got across there. Nothing to do there just yet. Currently on the 60 range, kind of stuck in both ranges here. Not really getting any entry confirmation here on any of them. Now if this 60 range was to flip green right here, I would take a long, but we'll see. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. It does not. Yeah, not getting any Sorry, guys. You guys didn't. So it did take a long here at the value area low, just targeting the point of control here. And based on timing here, this might be the last trade of the morning here. And again, if you want to target the value area high, which doesn't seem such a bad target, that's an extra 30 points there. That's 84 points, so the risk to reward, that's really nice. But Rob, POC on your chart is different than POC on some of other charts. Going to be so. So, another thing I can tell you is make sure that you're set to resolution tick. What else? 68% value area. I think that's these are the settings that I've got it at. They should be identical. If you're on Trade of 8, you know, depending on your data. I've seen typically point of control is always spot on, but value area low or high could be off by a couple points. Doing good, J-Loves. Alright, I'm going to use my washroom break right now. Hopefully I come back where we are in full TP. All right, not too bad here. 30 points in profit there. Nothing here yet to really reduce risk on. No flip here. Excuse me. Let's take a quick peek at the 60. All right, so look, oh, that's gold. I did that yesterday. Yeah, no flip here on the 60s as well. My IB indicator is cutting off at 9:30. If that's what you have set as ending bar, set it to 9:31, so that includes the 9:30 candle. Yeah, but I feel like we've been trading with that for so long. I don't remember that ever being a problem before. I don't know. All right, so on this particular setup, if we do close as an up bar here, oh, I was going to say, if we close as an up bar here and we had negative delta, which we were sitting in negative delta before, then I would take my stop and move it up here, which we would be in profit. We would be sitting like somewhere right around here. Which is a nice place to be at, but I don't think that the 60 didn't give us anything either. Okay, so here's an interesting thought. We could also reduce our TP to a little bit below the IB high, just because that is a kind of a magnet there for us. So I'm just going to reduce that by a couple of points there. I'm sorry, I didn't see it on here, but I don't have the indicator on here, but you guys can see, obviously, we're pretty much at the IB high here again for a retest. Might as well not have any resistance in our way. As I always mention, key levels are great by our TPs, but you don't want it to be underneath your TP either. I don't think the 60 had anything. It did not. If you want, you could take profit here. There's a little bit of resistance there, about 42 points, 41. All right, I'm gonna take some profit. Not some. I took my position off there at 42 points. Starting to see a book map there, having a little bit of resistance. So, and on FOMC day, why not? 41 points. I'll take that all day long. All right, guys, I think I am done for the day today. Got both groups into some really nice profit, and let's see what our final tally is here. About 1,300 in profit. All of the accounts are very nicely in the green. Good day of trading. Good day of trading, guys. All right, so I will see you guys here tomorrow for Cash Profit Thursday. 5% of my session profits will be given away. So make sure you take a look at the keyword for tomorrow. Pop that into the chat. And what time should I do the... You know what? I'm going to do a random time tomorrow. I'll decide when we do the stream. That way the true viewers, the ones that are here all throughout the stream, they got the best chance of taking home some money. If we can get into the green, which I think we can. All right, guys. So today, 2 wins, 1 loss. The 1 loss was a point loss on the ES. You know, again, that was 1 point of risk to try to make 6 points. So again, I'll take that. I'll take that all day long. And that looked like it was TP right there. And I think that maybe a little slightly short of TP. A full moon. Take care, guys. I'll see you guys here mañana.